Hey, 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 welcome to
Cheers.
Happy Hour.
Happy hour. Mm-mm-mm. I was just about to tell Heather, we had a long day today because we were doing some extra stuff, and I have like crazy headphone hair. So I was looking at my wardrobe of ball caps. Do I want to represent Temple University? Do I want to represent True Weird Stuff? We're having problems. Let me just warn everybody: we're having problems with Lamar's feed tonight. He'll bounce back in, and decided that we'd go with Area 51. You know, because I'm a big fan. So, Heather, how's your day been?
It's aside from having to literally stop work midday today and build a cat tree so that I could get to my keyboard. Um, I'm fine. The cats don't run this house or anything.
Like that. I while we were working on the show this morning, I had to run during a break. We had an accident. I was like, if this is a cat, I don't believe it. And I hope that this isn't Kevin because I'm not ready to start cleaning up after this man like this. Hey, Suzanne. Hey, Regina.
Oh, and please
It's
ignore the absolute construction zone.
chaos. Hey, Becky. It has been an emotional week, Regina. And you know, girl, beaming the love and the hugs. A lot of feelings this week in Regina's person.
Oh no. What is going on? Hang on. Can everybody see everybody? I'm sorry guys, we've got something buggy. There
Yeah,
was snow here, so I'm guessing that's affecting the internet.
yes. Okay, now, don't nobody move. Don't nobody shake anything.
We're still alive, guys. I just
Yeah.
brought you guys back up, so
Hey,
you guys,
Neil, how you doing?
both of you can see the chat.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Neil, Charlotte, Sue, Kim, Mary Kay,
Hey, Becky.
Marlene, Patty, Teresa, Katie, and Jane.
Jerry, I
Oh,
think your mic went out.
my mic went out?
Yeah, I think you need to select it in. I'm sorry. I just wanted to let you know.
Okay. Are you still hearing
Is
me?
it back?
Yeah, you're a little low again, Lamar.
Okay. Well, I crank that up a little bit. How
Sorry
about now?
guys, it's one of those weeks.
It's our brand.
So, y'all, can I show you something that I'm making for my mom? So, my mom lives in the desert and is surrounded by rugged beauty and has no desert. Nothing in her house would let you know she lives in the desert. Like I'm like Gaston in Beauty and the Beast. I do my decorating with antlers, no nothing. It's just this tasteful environment. So I am stitching her. I'm going to put it in a frame.
Oh.
I'm going to put it in a frame so she can hang it, in the bathroom where no one can see it. But it's you can see it's like that blue desert sky and that bright red rocks. It's like super saturated. I'm going to stitch a little border around it and
I don't,
surprise her with it when
I don't think that's a bathroom cactus. That's at least a hallway cactus.
Yeah.
my mom, anything I make for my mom, she's like, oh, and it gets prime play. So what she wants me to do is stitch her a big pillow with her late dogs. But Kevin, we couldn't find Kevin has to paint the canvas. And so it's a long process. It's going to take me probably 6 to 8 months to stitch that. But I wanted to surprise her with a little something, something. And this is so small. Like literally, I've been able to get this done just in the past couple
That's
of
so
nights
cute.
while watching movies. Isn't it cute? My stitching, and I made sure if I made a mistake, I pulled it out and redid it. Because a lot of times, if I stitch something for you, if you get too close up on it with your eyes, you can spot the mistakes. But I wanted to do a good job because it's my mommy. So I'm working on that for her. I hope
That's sweet.
everyone is having Sue Priest. That's awesome. And she'll like that more than a cat with laser eyes. Girl, you know her. um, I hope that everyone's had, a pretty okay, pretty okay day. Hey, Jack Bunny.
Hey,
And
Deborah
listen,
Blanton, how you doing? Spartanburg, good deal.
Spartanburg got some snow today. My daughter
We
texted me
did.
all excited. Yeah.
It went away though. Did y'all do anything?
I got 4 flakes. No, I'm joking. There was some snow, but it was just enough to cause problems around here.
I had 27 flakes of snow and I enjoyed all of them. Kevin was working on something out in the garage, and late this afternoon he said to me, I just was watching the snow and I just had this snow day feeling, and there's a hockey game tonight. And I could tell by the look in his eyes, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, good. Well, I'll be going to bed at 8:03 Eastern, but you enjoy that hockey ball. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just all congested and whatever. Suzanne Banks got 2 feet of snow in the last few days. Girl, where are you? No snow in Brunswick, Canada today. They actually saw the sun. Where in the world did you get 2 feet of snow? Where my other daughter lives, they got a few inches, but where we live, just enough flakes coming down so that if you went outside and looked at it, you could say it snowed, and that was about it. Yeah. So what would y'all like to discuss tonight? Because you know me, it'll get weird real fast.
Quick, Lamar.
Try to behave, because this isn't True Weird Wednesday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what it feels like for you, doesn't it?
Every day feels like True Weird Wednesday to me. Jenny and Regina were saying that they could not get through this week's True Weird episode about Teilhard the Frenchman with the bottomless appetite. Y'all, I just love these people whose stories we tell. Nobody else loves them. Everybody else is like, oh, you're gross. Oh, you're a monster. But, he was just a guy. He was just a little guy, just a young kid when his parents said, you got to go. We can't afford to feed you. And he had to make his way on the streets. And he had this sickness that even today medicine can't diagnose. And the French military tried to use him as a spy, but they didn't train him. And he was just beaten nearly to death by the Germans behind enemy lines, and hospitalized and mocked and ridiculed, and people pointed and stared. He was just a guy, Somebody's got to love these people. I can't marry all of them, but somebody.
Well, you've done your best.
Lamar, I'm chipping away. Okay. I'm chipping away at the number. So Mary Ickert is in TGK. She's sipping on a Bud Light for you, Lamar.
God bless you. That's good.
Saying hey to everybody. And Debbie and Jenny in Lexington, Kentucky. She thought that we were off this week. I think we originally scheduled this as an off week.
Yeah, but I was going to be traveling up to my college because I was teaching classes, but the snow derailed my plans. So I ended up being home in order to do this.
You just never know when we're going to show up. You just never know. You just don't know.
Y'all should know that even though Heather, we had scheduled this as an off day because Heather was going to be out of town, she reached out and said last night and said, I'm not out of town. Should we do happy hour? And Lamar and I were like, yeah. Let's do happy hour. Oh, Calvin, you were expecting a tapeworm. No. I know a lot about tapeworms because my grandparents came from the old country and tapeworms were a real thing, apparently. The symptoms are so different from that of a tapeworm. Do you know, in 2025, medical science still doesn't know what afflicted poor Teilhard. It was like he was some sort of genetic one-off. But speaking of tapeworms, Lamar and I were all excited. What day was it this week that we did the two-faced maggot fly who has a face on his butt, Lamar, that he uses
it was early anyway. It was early.
Monday or Tuesday, I think it was.
Yeah. I saw the post. When I saw it, I said, you might think that's a termite, but it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's just the best job ever, Lamar.
Yeah. That was an amazing. Because it looked just exactly like a termite.
We didn't have time for it on the show, but Lamar and Max and I had a very spirited conversation about the two-faced Moroccan maggot fly, which was just discovered. It's a newly discovered species, and it eats by infiltrating termite mounds and eating termite larvae. And it does that because on its butt is an exact image of a termite's face, and it's able to fool the soldier termites that guard the mound. It's an incredible thing. And so we were sitting during the commercial break afterwards and going, talk about making a case for an intelligent designer.
Yes.
Making a case for an omniscient God, because nature is wild, but damn, girl,
Come on.
that thing has a face on its ass. Come on.
This thing's butt looks exactly like the face of a termite. And when he backs up into the thing, the termite guards go, "Hey, brother, what's up?" You know, they just let him on in, and he eats up all the larvae. This doesn't happen by accident. This is not an act. It had antennas. It had fake antennas that look just like termite antenna. I mean,
and they're fake. They're completely useless. They're just for show.
and his eyes are just a dot. They look like eyes, but they're just a dot.
It's like I spent a lot of time thinking about the two-faced Moroccan maggot fly, which of course, is not surprising. But here's what I was thinking. If I'd have known about this in the beginning of my radio career, I'd have painted 2 eyes on my ass and a fake goatee, and I'd be a rock star. I'd have backed into a radio station.
Back into all the radio stations.
Guys, I'm a dude. I'm a dude. My whole career would be different. What are you going to do? Cheers, everybody. Yeah.
The saddest part is it would have worked too.
It would have worked. Oh, yeah. If I put 2 eyes and a goatee on my ass and walked backwards into a radio station, oh my God, Heather, the difference in our careers.
Yeah.
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 A little too late though. You didn't think about it soon enough.
I didn't. You know what? There you go. That's why God is magnificent. Thinking of the two-faced Moroccan maggot fly, and I'm over here trying to just have a career on my own merit. But whatever.
Didn't work out.
Let me say hi to Barbara. Listen to what she said. Y'all, I shared the True Weird podcast about the Mandela effect with an engineer and blew his mind. And after quizzing him about the Monopoly Man and the Berenstain Bears, and he was wrong. You all listen. Even Lamar is like kind of open into it.
There's something to it.
You can't tell me that we're in the right timeline. We are not in the same timeline that I was born in. That's for sure. We're not in the same timeline. And it's whatever, whatever.
Jeff, you're more than welcome. It was such an amazing story with such a great happy ending. It was a great story. Yeah. About the baby that had spina bifida. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Still can't get past that.
We've had some really, you guys, one of the things that we really try to do, and Lamar really focuses on this, we just buckle down and go, where in this dumpster fire is the good news, the awesome people, the folks that are just more concerned about other people than themselves. And by God, he finds them.
Well, here's the deal. Those people are everywhere. We know those people, but their stories never catch a headline because it's not bad. It's not disaster. It's not
celebrities.
It's not, because these are everyday, regular people that just do what you should do with your fellow human being. I mean, yeah.
And they're out there.
Yeah,
there's so many of them, but you're right. We don't hear their stories. Why do I know everything about Bianca Censori's lack of underwear? That's the woman Kanye West is exploiting and trafficking. Yeah. But I need Lamar to go, okay, I found this. You're not going to believe this guy. You're not going to believe what this nurse did. You're not going to believe what these teachers did.
If you didn't hear what we're talking about here, that the guy just asked about, a lady was pregnant and they found out that her baby was going to have spina bifida. And what they did was they put her in an operating room. They took the womb outside of her body, went into the womb, operated on the baby, put the womb back in the lady. 6 or 8 weeks later, she has the baby. The baby's kicking and going and everything, and it's just got a small red scar on the bottom of her back, right above her butt and her back. And she's fine. She's fine. Now, should that not be the headline? Should that not be? I mean, that's
the
amazing
story. Yeah.
Who knew? Who knew you could do that? It's crazy.
So I want to just say, as someone who absolutely adores technology and social media, even though it's a garbage fire 90% of the time, I think that it's broken us as people, because the algorithms favor engagement, and what drives engagement more than rage, right?
Yeah.
Like the stories like you're describing, they don't get the same amount of traction as the negative stuff. And so the overlords look at how much traction the negative stuff gets and they go, oh, they must want more of that. And so the algorithm just keeps pumping more of the awful stuff, but there's so much good stuff. And let me just say this about medical science. And this is something that we touch on all the time in our True Word Stuff podcast. Like until very recently, we were diagnosing people and just cutting them open and letting some of their blood drain out. We had no freaking clue. DNA is a very new discovery. Our understanding of the body, the brain, the heart, all of it, very, very, very new. And in a very short amount of time, we're able to do what Lamar just described, operate on a baby while she's still in the womb. And I don't understand, and you will never ever be able to explain it to me or convince me. And if you try, I'm probably just going to block you. Why it's a good thing to turn the clock backward on that. Why we wouldn't want the capability to help that child. Like, what the frackety frackin' frack? Oh, it's Larry Munson. Everybody say hello. Say hello, Larry
Hello,
Munson.
Harry.
Say hello, Larry Munson. Oopsies.
Come on.
Oh, we've got one over there too. Patricia Larson said, I'm so sick of negative ads, but I guess someone thinks they're the more effective. So here's an interesting thing to think about. They say like you are what you eat. Well, you see what you click in the very same way. Like I'll be on Facebook and I'll see people going, oh, I hate this. I hate Taylor Swift, or, I hate vegetarians. Well, Pumpkin Pops, because you commented on that post, the algorithm goes, oh, I bet you want to see a lot more vegetarians and Swifties. Like, you are what you click. We are what we eat. And with our thoughts, we make the world, as the Buddha said. And I know I've been making the world kind of crazy with my thoughts. And I'm really trying very hard to be better at that, which is why I'm stitching my mommy a little cactus. So Brett Ashwell says, imagine the things we're still learning and what we'll do in the future. Yeah.
Oh.
And like, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. And everything, you can't say anything anymore. Everything's so controversial, but them book learning doctors, they are on to some stuff. I just have to say.
Oh my goodness.
Sure, apple cider vinegar is a good time, but there's no substitute for a cardiologist in some cases. You know what I'm saying? So, Facebook is cruel. It's the algorithm. The algorithm. Let's talk about this. The algorithm is not neutral. Heather can really speak to this. Heather, girl, why don't you jump in? Because this is your world.
It's like a point system, right? So every time you interact with something, there's a certain amount of points assigned. If you just click on something, that's like 1 point. Liking something is like 2 points, and commenting is like 5 points. Sharing something is, a certain amount of points. Like, it's all theoretical math. And what they do is they decide who you are by what you look at. And so you could look at something like a toilet seat on Amazon, and then for the next month on Facebook, you're getting toilet seats, and it's to do with metadata.
Yeah.
So
and all of these major companies, including news organizations, they track where you are and what you're doing through the cookies on your site. And every site you visit, you're picking up cookies, and that's how you basically continue to see the same stuff everywhere. Google also, when you Google something, it doesn't show you the most reliable source of information. It shows you the most popular source of information for people like you, or paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you put the money out, you'll come to the top of the list.
Yeah.
whether
I,
you're the best move or not. You know, it makes me think. It's probably been 20 years ago. A sci-fi movie might have been Tom Cruise. I don't know. It's a sci-fi movie, and I remember as they were walking around downtown.
Minority Report.
Yeah, as you would pass a point, a billboard would come up and advertise everything that you were thinking. You know, they were selling you a product that you were thinking about. And I thought, man, that's crazy. But years and years ago, before we ever decided that it's true, you could be talking on your phone and then you go to Google and the very crap that you're talking about is popping up.
Let me ask Sandra Denise a question, who says, but I don't watch, follow, or look at soap operas. And suddenly yesterday, several were popping up. Did you listen to the show this week, Sandra? Because we had a caller talk about one of the actors on Young and the Restless.
Yeah,
we talked about him.
Yeah.
And if you were listening to that, your phone heard that and thought, oh, maybe Sandra's into soap operas.
Also, the way the algorithm works, like let's say you have 5 friends and all 4 out of those 5 friends watch soap operas, and you interact with those 5 people more than you do anybody else, it's going to show you that content because it thinks that, well, your friends like it, so you might like it.
Yeah.
It's 50% you, 25% what your friends like, and then 25% what they believe you like based on your demographic information. So,
I have a handful of people who listen to the show who always let me know when something we've talked about has suddenly started populating their newsfeed and social media, because your devices, they are listening. And even more troubling than that, and I speak as someone who fully acknowledges a technology addiction. So there's no judgment here. But the way that this technology was constructed and developed is designed to hijack your dopamine system, which is why you find yourself reaching for it, and you get these little hits of pleasure hormones. Oh, somebody liked my post. Somebody commented on the picture of my dog. And so we're addicted, because addiction is a hijacking of the dopamine system, of the reward system. And I don't know what the answer is. Like, my husband is always telling me, woman, you got to get off your phone. But my entire job revolves around technology.
I would love to abandon the phone, because I know it would be great for me, but I have just stepped into a situation to where I need to know everything that's going on. It's like we talked about. Listen, I'm looking for good news stuff. That's hard to find. So I am on the damn computer. I got my face in the screen constantly. Even when I'm watching TV with Carla, we're in the living room watching TV. I got a laptop in my lap and I'm scrolling stuff, because we're in it now. We're in it. We can't get out of it. We cannot get out of it. But
a couple of years ago, social media was affecting me to the point where I was not sleeping well. I was up at all hours. Every time my phone pinged, I was up. And I had to start having my phone lock me out of certain apps after 11 p.m. It's been really beneficial for me. Also, when I'm on vacation now, I will put my phone in black and white mode.
So it's less appealing. Yeah.
It's less appealing, and it cuts off the dopamine that you're being fed. But unless you set these hard boundaries with yourself, even in this job, you're going to find that you're burning yourself out on social media and because of your phone.
The best thing that ever happened to me is when I retired from Budweiser, because I was on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I had to leave my phone on. And so during the night, and Carla would drive her crazy, because I'm getting ding, 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 but I gotta leave the ringer and stuff on, because if the alarm goes off or whatever, I'm on. And this is the cool part. They give you the phone and they pay for your phone, but it's just a leash. It's a leash around your neck. I mean, better off to be paying for the phone than have a leash. But anyway, when I retired, I cut my ringer off. I cut everything off. because I don't have to take a phone call in the middle of the night. And that has made a huge difference in just being able to sleep without having the ding, 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 because
That's
Carla,
one thing.
that would wake Carla up a lot more than it did me. But I had to leave it on because it would ping. And God, it's just, yeah.
Like this job ties you to technology, but you're not on call 24/7.
That's right. That's right.
So don't you knock Damien over, Larry Munson. So I'm really proud of both my daughters have deleted all social media off their phone. They still have accounts on Instagram. Well, Olivia doesn't. Olivia deactivated everything. Karamia still has an Instagram account and a TikTok, but they deleted it off their phone. So the temptation, would be less. So a few months ago, back in like September, I decided to spend an entire weekend teaching the algorithm that all I wanted were capybara videos, cat videos, and Eras Tour videos. And from October to January, that's all I saw. Every time I opened my phone, it was cats, capybaras, and Taylor Swift.
So you just kept looking that stuff up.
I searched it. Every time I found one, I favorited it, and I followed the creator. I favorited probably 1,000 videos of cats, Taylor Swift, and capybaras. And even to this day, my Instagram is a freaking joy and a delight. It's where I go when I'm not playing. Like I have a couple of games on my phone that are very immersive, but if I'm not playing a game, I pop over to Instagram. I watch Taylor sing All Too Well. Then I watch a capybara getting a bath. Then I watch a cat meowing in response to its owner. And then when I leave that platform, I'm back in hell. But you can trick and train the algorithm. Never comment if something pisses you off on Facebook. I mean, yes, sir, buddy. If something pisses you off, if you feel like the rage of your ancestors boiling up in you, look at your hand and slap it. Do not engage. Do not engage, because Facebook, I think, tell me if you agree, Heather, I think Facebook is the absolute worst for catching you on the first pass.
Yeah, and comments are weighted so heavily, and their interaction is. Let's just be honest. A lot of people have moved off of Facebook in the last several years, so their interaction is down. So when somebody interacts with something, not only do you start to see it more, but the people in your network are going to start seeing that content more. Yeah. So you're really doing community service by not engaging.
Don't engage.
How long has Alex been
stuff
on
like that?
And I see some stuff that pisses me off on Facebook. Oh my God, my blood boils, and I just move on. I go back over to Instagram. Oh, look, it's a capybara in a bonnet.
Our daughter Alex is a vet, and she got off of it a few years ago. In fact, she was trying to get off of it when she was still in vet school. And she got off of it, and it has not been a problem. I mean, she's like, I'm good to go. I'm absolutely good to go. And she, she absolutely loves it. I've got a couple of friends that just barely got past the flip phone era, but they have nothing. And they feel so good. I mean, because they don't get anything. They don't see it. They don't get caught up in it. And it's just, I mean, and I would love that. I really would love that. The idea that I know every word I'm saying, the phone is listening. Yeah. Because I've done this many, many times. I've said this before. I'm having a conversation. I have not said nothing about Siri. I've said nothing. And in my earbud, it'll go, I didn't hear what you said. Can you repeat that? What?
Max, every time Max says Sheri, his phone says, how can I help? Because it thinks it's saying Siri. So I wondered how long it would take. I want to shout out Christy Bray, who said, you're on Facebook now. Yeah, we are. And we'd like to migrate off.
Yeah.
But we don't want to make your life, we don't want to make it a pain in the ass for you. But we are looking at other options for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is this algorithm is it's aggressively terrible. Like it gets up in the morning, brushes its teeth, and looks with you. This is a terrible algorithm.
We can also acknowledge that there are some negatives in the Facebook algorithm while still using it, just like you can acknowledge that
Yeah.
Drinking alcohol can have some negative side effects and still drink it. It's not mutually exclusive. Like, I do this for a living, right? For my 10 years of my career, I've done social media, but I can acknowledge that there is a lot of negative things that come out of social media, and it does negatively impact you, and you can be addicted to it. So we can acknowledge the two sides of that.
Yes. Yes. And I think that knowledge is power, right? I think when you begin to understand, oh, that's how it works, then you can begin taking steps to protect your sanity. Like we shared, so we talked about a couple of the moments on the SNL 50th anniversary show, and we figure like a lot of people are busy and don't have time and maybe don't watch everything. So we shared some of the moments from that show on the air that we thought were really cool, and then shared them over to Facebook. And here comes some dude who's like, yawn. And I'm like, first of all, so edgy and clever, like if only I were single. But here's the thing, buddy. You don't like Sabrina Carpenter and Paul Simon? I got bad news. It's about to be your whole freaking life. So it's important that we talk about this stuff, because maybe you didn't know that every time you engage something, you're telling the algorithm you want more of it. We take for granted that you know that, but maybe you don't. Larry,
here's another thing. When you made the example of alcohol, there's two sides to it. Just like with Facebook or any social media, if you let alcohol control your life, that's a problem. So if you don't let the media control your life, if you don't let Facebook or social media control your life, it's up to you to monitor the level and let it. You got to control it. You can't let it control you, because once you let it control you, you're in trouble.
But you have to know, you have to know how the game is played. If you're going to if you're going to have a shot on the field, you need to know the rules of the game. And I will say that something that Heather is absolutely ferocious about is, what do we post on our social media, whether it's our Facebook or our Instagram? What are we sharing there with you? So we're sharing stuff that maybe we've talked about on the show, where we think you might want to see the video. Oh, girl, Cynthia, I'm so with you about Benson Boone. Hello, mama. Or we share something that one of us finds and we're like, would you look at this baby giraffe? We share stuff like that. We are intentional about what's on our social media. And yeah, not everybody likes baby giraffes and Benson Boone, but we don't rage bait, and we don't hate farm. We just don't do it. And there's an awful lot of that on social. Mm-hmm. Bring on the puppies and kitties, Jessica says. Yeah, we're always looking for that stuff.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Larry, I got to deal with this cat. Come here, Larry.
Oh. Larry is very attention hungry this evening.
He's really feeling himself today. Oh my goodness. Oh my gracious. Okay. All right.
I have Brussels sprouts that are getting ready to be picked this week. And I'm very excited. Yeah.
You're such a little farmer. I'm so proud.
I also got broccoli, winter broccoli. Everyone thought I was crazy because I was planting cabbage, Brussels sprouts, and broccoli in like November. And now I've got cabbage, Brussels sprouts, and broccoli coming ready. So
it turns out you have such a talent for gardening.
Yep.
Hey, You know what Lamar hates more than almost anything? Yeah. He hates margarine and he hates gardening.
I was fixing to say, it's very awesome that you've grown some Brussels sprouts. I can buy them damn things at Ingles. They've already sliced them. All I got to do is throw them in the cast iron skillet. I mean, I'm just saying. And I appreciate you doing it, though. That's awesome. I'm all for you. Just don't ask me to come help you. That almost was the end of mine and Carl's relationship. We had been dating just for a while, and I'm thinking to myself, this might be the one. This might be the one. She's smoking hot. Everything's working.
She's so smart.
And one day she goes, I want you to help me plant a garden. My right eyelid started to just do like this. Because she doesn't understand. When I was a kid, when the cartoons were on Saturday morning, my ass was out there pulling the damn weeds up out of the green beans, because we had this big damn garden. It's like a 2-acre garden. And my daddy wouldn't trust me with a hoe because I chop the green beans. So I had to pull all this by hand. And she's talking about, can we plant a garden? Hell no. No. And I'm rethinking the relationship. I really am rethinking the relationship. Thankfully, she found a neighbor that was 2 houses up, and she had a tractor, and she volunteered to come down and plant a garden. Saved our relationship. Otherwise, me and her would not even be anywhere close together because I'm done with that gardening business.
Oh,
I ain't doing it.
Dude, Heather, you should do a blog on the website about your gardening.
I'm proud of you.
It turns out that not only does Heather have a mad talent for gardening, but like she made her own pickles this summer.
Shut up.
I know, they were delicious. She brought me a container full of homemade pickles. They were so good. I mean, she grew eggplant, the most delicious little eggplants, the same color as her hair. It was fabulous. Yeah, it was fabulous.
I
hate this. My mama made pickles all the time. I didn't pay any attention. She made fresh jelly out of blackberries, and she made apple jelly. She did all this stuff. You know, I wonder though, those apple pies that we ate, she sliced up the apple and laid them on top of the hood of the car to let them dry. I don't know how that works out. I don't know if I've got lead paint. I'm not sure.
Okay, I'm gonna need to stop you because I have so many questions. So she didn't lay down like some paper towels or parchment paper or tinfoil or anything. Your mama sliced an apple and put it on the hood of a dirty car in the sunshine.
No. We washed the car. The car was washed. It was fine. And it was a white car, so it was reflective. So
hey, Lamar, I'm hoping this makes it into your cookbook. How long does an apple have to sit on the hood of a car in the Georgia sunshine before it's ready to make a pie?
Just a few days. I mean, it don't take long. And it shrivels up, you know? Yeah. Oh, yeah. God.
So all I can think about is all of the critters that had access to those apples.
No critters. Now, I'll be honest. You couldn't keep the yellow jackets and the wasp off of it. So there was, I'm satisfied. Something, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Did the apples come in at night and then go back out in the daytime?
No, that's too much trouble. We're not doing all that. We're not doing all that.
Did y'all not have a significant raccoon situation?
Yeah, no raccoons. We were good.
I mean, I have a raccoon problem. I live in the city with a raccoon problem. Here's my raccoon problem. We get our pet food from Chewy. And I always have them like every 3 shipments. I get a big thing of cat treats, Temptation cat treats. You know, the big plastic jumbo canister, and that lasts me until the next delivery. So the Chewy delivery came at night. It probably came at like 7:00, but we didn't realize it. So the box sat outside on the front steps till the next morning. The raccoons came.
No.
My brother, they opened the box, they opened the thing of Temptations, and they stuffed their little trash panda faces. They ate almost all of the cat treats. And we know that because of the video. Kevin had game cameras up. And we were like, oh my God. Yeah. So your people would put apples on the hood of the car.
Or sometimes we put them we had like a big 300-gallon LP tank because we had gas heat. And we'd put them on the LP tank too, because it was white too. If you put it on something white, it reflects and it dries them up quicker.
Can I tell you something? Yeah. So when I was a kid, I checked a book out of the school library. It was about a little girl growing up on a farm in the South. And there were 2 things that I remembered. One of them was she wore flour sack dresses, which was a real thing.
Yeah.
And her mama made dried apple pie, like apple pie out of dried apples, which is, I believe, what you're describing here.
Oh, my mom would fry an apple pie in the skillet. Oh my God, them fried apple pies was the best ever. Oh my God. I
just didn't realize that you left the apples outside to dry for several days. I don't know what
heat. You put them in heat. It don't matter. They're frying. It's not a problem. It takes care of it. Listen, if you fry something, no matter what happened before it got to the hot grease, it's still good. It's good. It's not a problem. Not a problem. What's that thing?
I was going to make sun-dried.
Herbert Davis. Yes. Thank you for noticing, Herbert. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I was gonna make sun-dried tomatoes, but now I'm thinking about like this brings up a lot for me, Lamar.
What color is your car? If your car's not white, it's harder. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I've got a greenhouse kit that I have to build, so I was thinking about doing them in there, but
That's a lot of trouble. Just get a white car.
just get a white car.
Oh, Patty, yeah, Chewy lets you know when you've had a delivery, but they let you know via your phone. And if your phone's on the charger because you're watching, the next episode of Silo, you didn't get the notification about this.
Well, let me tell you about Chewy. If you will send Chewy an email and say the raccoons got my stuff, Chewy will send you a brand new. I mean, Chewy
don't I know it?
They're the greatest customer service. Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable.
When my precious little Sam Nash died, because I used to get all of Sam's food from Chewy. My late mother-in-law, who was Sam's dog mom before I came along, she fed that boy very specific little cans of I think the brand, he ate two brands. One was Beneful and the other was Little Caesar.
Ooh. Oh, well, that's high dollar.
Can I tell you, that dog ate better than we did. And so I just put in a rotating Chewy order.
Yeah.
And when Sam passed away and I canceled the order, they sent me a beautiful letter and card that 30 different Chewy people had signed. It was, yeah, they are a great company.
They're a great company.
And what makes them great? They give a damn about their customers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you, this is my Chewy story. I got a set of jumps for Darby to jump in. And so I opened them up, set them up. Everything was great. But when I went to put them back, it's got a zipper case. Well, the zipper broke. Okay. So they wanted me to give them a report. So I went on and I said, hey, listen, this is a great set. It works great. It's easy. It's wonderful. The only problem I had is when I went to zip up the bag, the zipper broke. The next day, I got an email from Chewy and they said, we are so sorry that happened. We're sending you a brand new set. Thank you so much. So I got two sets because they didn't want me to send the other one back. Yeah. They sent me a brand new set just because of the zipper. I wasn't complaining. I just said, but no, they're on top of it. They're on top of it. Hey, one of the people said if Bob had heard about this Apple thing, no wonder he hates pie.
I'm going to be honest with you, Lamar. I am not 5-second rule, 10-second rule. I am not super fancy about that, but I'm going to think about your mama drying apples on the hood of the car or the propane tank until I take my last breath on this earth.
I'm here to tell you, if you eat one of her fried pies, you'd be happy as hell. I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome. I've never had a better pie.
It is the greatest regret that I did not. How I feel about your mama. The fact that I did not get to hang out with Doris Richardson while she walked this earth. I think your mother is one of the finest women that has ever lived.
She was a warrior, buddy. She was a warrior. I'm just here to tell you, she was.
It remains and will always be one of my favorite things. So however you grow up is just what is normal to you, right? And you're looking at three people that did not grow up under normal circumstances, but it's normal. The day that Lamar casually mentioned to me, oh yeah, so mom would come home from work and sit on the couch and breathe into a paper bag every day just to calm down. I was like, wait, what? Your mom did what? And he was like, oh yeah, she breathed into a paper bag. I'm like, what are you talking about?
If she had had an upsetting day, she might hyperventilate, and so she would lay on the couch and she would cover her nose and mouth with a brown paper bag, and she would breathe into it, and it would cut down on the oxygen so that she would not be hyperventilating.
You know what? I'm understanding. I am understanding your mom a lot, actually.
The best part of this story is Lamar's like, you mean to say your mama didn't?
Yeah.
No, Lamar.
Yeah. I mean, that was a normal thing. Listen, I got to tell you, having me as a kid, it's probably a little bit distracting. I'm satisfied it was. I mean, I was a handful. There's no doubt about that.
But you know what? You might have been a handful, but you were the best. Speaking as a mom who has a kid like you, You were the best kind of handful, because although you couldn't blink, because this kid had a million ideas and many of them were reckless and stupid. This kid had no malice. This kid had no evil. This was a good kid with dreams.
Yeah, I had some dreams. Hey, Charlotte Belk, I'm seeing what y'all talking about. No, I have not given up bacon. Yes, I have lost some weight, okay? But I chose a program. The first thing they said was, do you put heavy cream in your coffee? I said, yes. They said, do you like butter? I said, yes. They said, do you like bacon? I said, yes. And so I signed up. So, yeah, exactly. So don't worry about it.
Okay, Lamar's modest, so I'm gonna brag on him. Lamar, this is a butter bacon bourbon eating boy. And he cooks. He cooks while Carla sits and drinks a glass of wine and asks him why he has to go to so much trouble before she
It's so true. God, it's so true.
I don't know anyone that enjoys cooking food, talking about food, thinking about food, eating food, planning his next food more than Lamar. This boy has lost 40 pounds in 10 weeks, and he ain't missed a single stick of butter.
Nope. I eat everything I want to eat.
I mean, I want to go breathe into a paper bag. This man has just been like, is that some butter? I believe I'll have 2. And he's lost 40 pounds. Shout out. You might as well shout out the program.
Yes, PhD weight loss. Listen, when I went in for the first consultation, I went in and the lady said, well, let's talk about some things. She said, do you drink coffee? I said, I get up at 4:00 in the morning and I start drinking coffee. I said, by the time 8:00 rolls around, I've had 80 ounces of coffee. And she said, well, how do you feel about putting heavy cream in your coffee? I said, that's all I ever do. She said, well, that's what we recommend. I said, I'm home.
Lamar gave me such a talking to that I switched to heavy cream. Mr. Kevin's reaction to that, he's like, woman, what the hell are you putting whipping cream in your coffee for? I said, because Lamar said that it's better. And there was this long pause and he went, Lamar told you to drink heavy cream. I was like, yeah. And you know what? He's right. It's a lot better. I switched.
Every one of you that's listening to this, if you put cream in your coffee and you're not putting heavy cream in your coffee, I don't even want to know who you are. I mean, because I'm here to tell you that you don't have to put, but I mean, honestly, because I am on a program, I put a half of a tablespoon in my coffee, and I'm talking about a big cup of coffee, and it's luxurious. And
it's really
awesome.
Nice, yeah.
But you don't have to put a whole bunch of the rest of the stuff. No good.
But then just recently, Lamar casually mentioned that he also dropped some Kerrygold Irish butter in that coffee.
Oh my God. Let me tell you something. If you want some coffee, if you're really on a keto thing, they have what they call bulletproof coffee. And you take an ounce of Irish butter and you drop it in the bottom of that thing. And then you put a little bit of MCT oil, which is refined coconut oil. And you make that coffee. Oh my God. It's an experience like you just do not know. It is luxurious. It's filling. It's everything you would want it to be. It really is.
I'm crying in lactose intolerance over here.
Well,
that's a problem.
Yeah,
so, I mean, I never know, like every day, because like Lamar recognizes that it's a lot all at once. So it's 80 ounces of coffee, which you would be at my funeral if I drank 80 ounces of coffee. I would explode. So first it's the heavy cream, then it's the butter, then it's the coconut oil. I predict in 3 days, he's got me stirring that bitch with a pork chop. But here's the thing, this program that he's on, because when Lamar told me he was doing it, I was like, but buddy, nobody, like, what are you going to do? Like, you're the family cook and all that. It's not a diet. It's like, it's been like nutrition coaching, I guess, is maybe the right
way. It is. The lady that's doing it, I mean, the reason they call it PhD is she has a PhD in nutrition. And basically, like they have recipes. Their recipes are unbelievable. And I made this one night from our small group, and it is broccoli, garlic, and bacon. It's in a skillet. And oh my gosh, it is unbelievably good. It's
I believe
on
there's
the
some
diet.
butter. I believe there's also some butter in that broccoli bacon skillet.
Oh
right?
yeah, of course. Yeah. Because you do a little bit of oil and a little bit of Irish butter. The butter is the deal. It is always the deal. There's nothing wrong with it.
So the one thing Lamar just bounced, the margarine gods just yanked him off the air. The one thing I will tell you that he told me, because I was like, wait, what? Lamar has given up almost all sugar. Lamar has a savory tooth, not a sweet tooth. I was just telling everybody, Lamar, that what you've really done is cut sugar like way down.
Yeah, the thing about the sugar is, when I went on this thing, and it is no sugar. Now that's the one thing. I mean, you can have bacon, but you can't have sugar. But after about 8 to 10 days of not having sugar, it is a completely different deal. Sugar, as great as it is, it's of the devil. I mean, it is. It is. I mean,
Max doesn't eat any sugar either.
It's not good for you. It is absolutely.
Oh
you know,
God.
Heather, they don't need sugar because they have us, girl.
I was gonna say Big Sugar coming in to silence Lamar.
Like I like little treats and stuff, but I don't like really excessively sweet things. I tried a new oatmeal recipe and it was overwhelmingly sweet, and it just had like a tablespoon of maple syrup in it. You don't need sugar, Lamar, because you have me and Heather, so you're good.
Exactly. Y'all are so sweet. That's exactly right.
Exactly right. So yeah, I didn't know we were going to talk about this, but I'm super impressed and proud of Lamar. 40 pounds in 10 weeks is a lot for a man that right now, as we speak, has a stick of butter in his pocket and a jar of Duke's mayonnaise in his car.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't leave the house without the Duke's mayonnaise. I go ahead and tell you, I do not. It's with me at all times.
The car condiments. Oh my God.
I thought about you, Lamar, because there was this girl that had these little keychains and they worked, and they were jars of little condiments. So she had like ranch dressing in one and like ketchup and hot sauce, and they just hung on her keychain. And I thought about you.
We were joking on the show. Are we giving anything away? Because I just remembered this. We were joking on the show that we're going to create a Lamar's car condiment box as a prize, and Tony's just going to go to every fast food restaurant in his town and just steal stuff to fill it because got to stay.
He did say he was collecting condiment packets earlier, so
yeah.
If we provide you with a case. You go to your local QT, your Wawa, one of those places, you can get all the condiments you want. Just keep them in your case. But you don't want to be caught without that. You do not want to be caught without that. Let me tell you something. We go to Costco, and they have that great deal on a hot dog and a drink for what is it, $1.50? $1.50 for. But the problem is their condiments only consist of mustard, ketchup, and onion. Now, any Jesus-loving person knows you've got to put mayonnaise on a hot dog, okay? You got to put mayonnaise on a hot dog. And so, you know what? I look at Carla. She looks at me. She reaches in the pocketbook because we done got it out of the car. We got some mayonnaise, and we're good to go. So that's what I'm saying. Be prepared. There could be hard times coming. This is like being a prepper. The first thing a prepper needs is condiments, okay? Forget all the toilet paper and water and all that stuff. Condiments. That's the key to prepping.
You ain't wrong about that. Because let's say you've got a 40-pound bag of rice from Costco and it hits the fan. And now you got the rice. If you have some condiments, you can start making some sauces.
Yes.
And branch out a little bit. Like branch out beyond ketchup, mustard, and mayonnaise. Make sure you get you some soy sauce and some dumpling sauce and some sriracha and chili crisp and there's a whole world of condiments.
If anybody listening happens to be in an area that has a QT convenience store, they have Cholula hot sauce in the packet. They have soy sauce in the packet. They got every possible thing you can think of in a packet, and they don't mind for you to come in there and get them. And then they also expect you to get they expect you to get a handful of napkins because you keep them right in the door of your car because gosh knows who's going to spill something, and you got to have them napkins. So I'm just saying they're inviting you in there to do it. So
I guess I guess the message we're putting forth tonight on Happy Hour is you need to all start stealing you some condiments from
yes,
gas stations and fast food restaurants.
I like the
who knows
idea.
what could happen next.
I like the idea of the tackle box for all the condiments.
Yeah,
That's
no,
that
Tony's
is a great
actually
idea.
No, you think I'm kidding? Tony's working on this.
But let me say something to you people out there. Every one of you that's listening to this, it's okay to go in there and get all the condiments you want. But if you go to that bathroom, you better buy some chewing gum.
Some M&Ms.
You better buy something. Do not walk into there and steal condiments and not go to and then go to the bathroom and not pay for something. You've got to buy something. It's not right. Okay, it's just not right. You got to do it.
When we were kids, my grandma, she loved. There was this little diner. She loved diners. Like all people in the Northeast love a diner. Philly, Jersey, they just love a diner. So my grandma had this one favorite diner called Ponzio's. It's out of business now. She would love to go there. And at the end of our meal, my grandma would open her purse and just slide it in. And when I say slide it in, I'm talking sugar, sweet and low, salt and pepper, mayonnaise and mustard, dishes. And of course, I'm filled with the righteous flame of justice. Oh my God, Grandma, that is stealing. And my grandmother said, hush, if they didn't want us to have it, they wouldn't put it here.
I mean, honestly, would they not have somebody standing there guarding it if they didn't want you to take it? I mean, this is out there. It's out there.
Look at Herbert. I work at Quick Trip. Guests are always getting handfuls of condiment packets.
Yes.
Well, y'all just stand by because coming soon to the Bob and Sheri Show, you can win Lamar's car condiment box. Keep them all neatly sorted and organized. Heather, are we giving something away in Happy Hour tonight? Do we have anything?
We can probably give away a couple calendars, I think.
Yeah, and maybe a
give away a bunch of
baseball hat
calendars.
or something. Every comment counts as an entry.
Mhm.
You will get a message from Heather in your Facebook Messenger message box saying, hey, it's Heather. You won something. Please reach out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Lamar, tell everybody what you're going to review this week.
You are cordially invited. And that is with Will Ferrell and
Reese Witherspoon.
And Reese Witherspoon. Let me say this. Will Ferrell, he gives it everything he's got in every movie, whether it's great or it's not great. He gave it everything he had. That's all I can tell you. Everything he had.
So that either the People's Movie Critic is trying to fake us out by acting like he wasn't all that impressed, or the People's Movie Critic wasn't all that impressed and was breathing into a paper bag after watching it.
But it's on Prime Video, so it won't cost you anything, which is about what it's worth. So if you're a Prime member.
So y'all, it's 8:00, and we know that you have like lives and whatnot.
We've had a great time though.
We sure have. Just is exactly what we needed. Oh, Regina is Kevin ever going to pop in and say hello? It's hockey night tonight, so I can't get him down here, but he'll come in. Maybe next week he'll come in and join us. And speaking of next week, Happy Hour will be on Wednesday night. It's not a True Weird Wednesday, but we're moving it to Wednesday night because I'm doing it. Heather and I are doing an event for a community organization that's just a bunch of people that got together and said, what can we do to help our neighbors, maybe senior citizens that can't pay their heating bill, folks that come up short at the end of the month and still need groceries or gas? It's this incredible organization.
Awesome.
And Heather and I are going to, it's on a Thursday night. So Heather and I are going to be out there helping those folks, but we will do Happy Hour next Wednesday. And I believe that's the 26th, right, Heather?
I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll see you next week on the 26th and tomorrow on the regular show for maybe a good review of your court.
It's up to you. Turn in. You got to find out. You got to tune in. Even if it's a terrible review, it'll still be hilarious. So.
I'm getting the feeling you might want to have that little paper bag ready. We love y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Cheers.